Coaches, Rick Stewart of All Access Coaching. I'm really excited to bring you this free video, and make sure you hit the subscribe and like button down below. It gives us valuable data as far as what coaches want. And also, if I can get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll start doing weekly YouTube clinics for free. And if you hit the like and subscribe button, you'll get notified when we upload new content. We're uploading 3 or 4 videos every week.
We've used Go Army Edge here to use to teach our players the concept of understanding the coverage triangle. And the coverage triangle to us is a outside linebacker, corner, and safety, or another coverage triangle we would use would be an inside linebacker, outside linebacker, and safety that you can't see. So we use coverage triangles as part of how we identify what the defense is going to do, what their intentions are, and ultimately what the coverage is going to be.
Coach Steinberg, I have a question. How many triangles total do you teach a quarterback?
So we'll use 2 different triangles. We'll use a triangle that uses the corner, the outside linebacker, or nickel and safety, okay? And then we'll use another coverage triangle depending on what area of the field we're reading, which involves an inside linebacker, outside linebacker, and safety.
So regardless of the different coverages, my quarterback only has to learn 2 triangles.
Regardless of what coverage they're in or what we're teaching them, there's only two types of triangles that we would be able to identify and read. Now what we've done is we've taken the diagram and we apply it to video. So this is an example from a quarterback's perspective using the GoPro at practice, which I would highly recommend for quarterbacks, is try to film as much as possible so that you get the quarterback's perspective. I think that when you're watching film, it becomes very teachable because you can see what the quarterback would see in his peripheral versus the all-22 from the press box that a lot of guys do at practice. That is good video and it's good for us to analyze and critique stuff, but from a quarterback's perspective, nothing beats this from behind. Okay, so this now takes a look at the coverage triangle, outside linebacker, corner, safety. Okay, so we would see that in the coverage triangle, there's 2 safeties. And now we can look at depth-eyes leverage of the corners and outside linebackers. Okay, what's the body posture? Where's their eyes? Okay, what's the leverage? And that would help us determine what the coverage is going to be. This is now an example of how we would use the GoPro to teach a read concept from the quarterback's perspective. So this concept is a spacing concept that we're going to run. It's an object receiver read, which in one of the later lessons or videos, you'll be able to understand how we teach the different reads in our offense. And the quarterback wants to get the ball to this receiver who's going to run what we call a spacing route, a modified curl. This receiver is going to run what we call a short route, okay, where he's going to sit inside, and then the third receiver is going to run out to the flat. We have a backside route that we can come to late where he's going to work, I believe, a comeback. So we really want to get the ball. It starts with the middle receiver who's going to be our object receiver running the modified curl. And depending on where they squeeze it, if it's not open, we're going to go to the next guy. So if you take a look at this, they squeezed it from the inside. Okay, as they squeeze it from the inside, you're going to notice the 2 linebackers from the inside drop to the area where we want to throw the modified curl. That's the object receiver. Because they squeeze it from the inside, he now goes to the inside. Okay, if they squeezed it from the outside, we would wind up throwing the flats, they would be open. So this is an example of a quarterback understanding the coverage triangle, how we're going to read, the way that we run this play, what the object of the play is, what we're trying to accomplish, and being able to attack it with the tools in his toolbox.
So Coach Steinberg, I have some questions. First of all, where's the GoPro camera set up? Who's running it? And I'm assuming after you film it, then you take your quarterbacks in the classroom and basically talk to the quarterbacks like you're talking to us now.
Yes, exactly. So we usually have the GoPros on a mast, and they have the ability to run them off your iPhone or your cell phone. So our manager is about another 5 yards behind the quarterback. He's got it on a mast that is up 10 feet high, and he just angles it down. They're watching on their phone, so they can record and pause on their phone. and then right after practice it gets uploaded to Huddle, and then the next day when we get into the classroom in the quarterback academy, or if it's during the season and we're going to watch some practice video, we have the opportunity to watch it. So we love to use it during 7-on-7 during the off season. Sometimes during the season if we're especially installing something new or if we're working against a different type of coverage.
Coach, I understand right now you're just explaining to us how you use technology to teach your quarterbacks. I'm having a bunch of questions. Where's the R4 reads? How does that go? Is there another video I can buy where you'll go through the R4s and what those routes are?
Yeah, so we'll talk about how we apply the R4 from Doug Maddox and Darren Slack as it fits into what we're doing. And in one of the other videos, we also go through the different types of read concepts. So this read concept, for example, is what we would call an object receiver read. We have key defender reads, we have progression reads, and then we have matchup reads as well, which are called solo flight.
Is that on your quick game video or your intermediate video? Which video do I buy to?
That's going to be part of all the other videos that we do.
Awesome.
I believe that in order to be an outstanding quarterback, there's 10 points of emphasis. And these are actually more reminders of what we need to be coaching and teaching and paying attention to. The first one is just making sure that your quarterback ignores the noise. They don't focus on outside opinion. They can block outside opinion because at the end of the day, the only opinions that matter are the ones of the critique and the coaching that are done by those within the football program. Okay, they don't get caught up with their press clippings. They can ignore negative remarks from fans, etc. And we always tell them that fans will always be way off. They're always going to give you too much credit, and it should be shared with your teammates, or they're going to give you not enough credit. And so they're going to either be way more than your biggest fan or worse than your greatest enemy. And so it's very important for them to ignore the noise. The second thing is that you have to have fun. You have to really love the game. You have to love doing what you're doing. You have to love practice probably as much, if not more, than playing the games. You have to have fun, but don't be a clown. Don't mess around at practice. And true competitors really love the practice and the preparation that's involved. And we'll use examples of quarterbacks, both NFL and in college, and guys that have come through our program to be able to hit on that. The third one is a quarterback has to have great feet. They don't necessarily have to be an incredible athlete, but they have to be having great feet. And great feet will give them pocket presence. Being a great athlete obviously helps, but having great feet to move in the pocket, like Big Ben and Dan Marino, would be shining examples of that. Number 4, knowing your job. You have to be a master technician. Okay, you have to have a great understanding of all the details involved of being not only a great quarterback, but being able to be successful with the play that's signaled in. And I always think that the greatest quarterbacks, they have football on their brain. Outside of practice, they're thinking of the schemes and the concepts that we run and how to tweak them or dress them up in different ways. And I could remember quarterbacks over the years texting me on the weekend or during the off season about concepts that we run and having ideas in their mind of being able to apply those concepts in different ways. And I think those are terrific when you get a young man that's thinking along those lines rather than just being a robot out there. Great quarterback has to know their players in the offense. So they have to have a true knowledge of each guy, both their strengths and their limitations, and what makes each guy tick. They have to have the ability to make each player in the offense feel valued and understand that they're all a big part of our offense. Number 6, great quarterbacks are consistent. They're never way too up and they're never way too down. They're even keel. Whether they've scored the biggest touchdown and the most important touchdown of the game, or they've just thrown what could be a costly interception. Number 7, great quarterbacks are never impulsive with their throws. They understand the defense that they're attacking. They also understand how our reads and how to apply those reads to the play that we called. Okay, they have great anticipation. Great quarterbacks don't necessarily have to have these incredible arms Obviously, strong arms do help at times, but it's more important to be able to anticipate that receiver coming open and getting the ball out early. They understand that it's important to live to see another down, which in a lot of cases means that it's okay to throw the ball away. Great quarterbacks understand number 8. Okay, you get the team in the end zone. That's your job as a quarterback. So it's very important to finish every series with a special teams play. Worst case scenario, the special teams play that we would be finishing with would be a punt. A punt is always better than putting the ball in your opponent's hands with a turnover of some sort. The next way to get your team in the end zone would be with a field goal. That's a special teams play. And then obviously if you're finishing with a PAT or a 2-point play, that means that you've just scored, and those are on the high end of what we want in our offense. The next point, number 9, very important for your quarterbacks to understand how to manage the game. Part of managing the game is always understanding what's the score, what's the down and distance, and how much time left on the clock. So quarterbacks have to understand, how does the clock work? When does the clock stop? When does it keep running? Always have to know the down and distance, and we know that there's been lots of examples of quarterbacks both in college and recently pros not understanding that it was 4th down and they needed to get a first down. I've seen examples of quarterbacks killing the clock by spiking the ball when it was 4th down and throwing the ball away when it was 4th down. It's important to always know those. They should know it, whether it's the first quarter or the 4th quarter. Those are things that the quarterbacks must know. And then lastly, point number 10, which is extremely important. Quarterbacks have to keep their cool. They should always be like a duck. So they're always working, but they look calm and relaxed. If you see a duck on top of the water, they look very graceful. But if you looked underwater and had a camera to see their feet would be flapping 100 miles an hour. And then we want our quarterbacks to be a battlefield commander, not a celebrity.
Coaches, I really hope you got some great information from that YouTube video. Again, hit the subscribe and like button down below. It gives us valuable data. And if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll do free YouTube clinics. And you also get notified when I'm doing those YouTube clinics and when I upload new content to this channel. Thanks for watching, coaches.